And Prime Minister Modi is in Athens. These are his visuals of meeting the Indian diaspora. Several of them who have gathered at the hotel where Prime Minister Modi is staying, many of them lining up themselves all the way between the airport as well as the hotel to get glimpses of the Indian Prime Minister. Pretty interesting, the fact that this is the first visit of an Indian Prime Minister in almost 4 decades to Greece. Would be very special for the Indian diaspora to have the head of the Indian country to be visiting Greece. You have the dhol, the nagara, the Indian flags, and celebrations, dancing as Prime Minister Modi waves and greets them. He shook hands as well as hugged people. Quite some excitement there in Athens. Right. In fact, I'm being joined by Maria Shakil right now. Maria, very interesting visuals coming in. It's for the first time, maybe in 40 years, that an Indian Prime Minister is visiting Greece. Excitement among the Indian diaspora as well. What are the expectations of this one-day visit, Maria?
Yes, so Sneha, Prime Minister is now on a day-long visit to Greece, and he arrived in Greece just an hour back, where he received a ceremonial reception, and he will be meeting his Greek counterpart, and there'll be discussion around a host of issues, particularly for deepening of ties between the two countries, India and Greece. There will also be an interaction with the leaders of the business community of both the sides, and followed by a business lunch, which will be hosted by the Greek Prime Minister. And he will also lay a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldiers in Athens, and there'll be also an interaction with the Indian community. As you pointed out rightly, Sneha, this is the first visit by an Indian Prime Minister in over 40 years, and hence the Prime Minister is sending a message that the two countries are looking at upgrading their long, friendship, particularly looking at cooperation in areas such as maritime transport, defense, trade and investments, and particularly people-to-people ties. Sneha, I've covered Prime Minister Modi's several international trips, and we see this diaspora interaction as a crucial part of Prime Minister's itinerary, where he spends time with the members, with the citizens of India who are living there, working there in that country, who may have taken citizenship as well, but their India connect remains strong, and that is the reason why they have become almost like Sneha, ambassadors of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Is a cultural pitch when it comes to their interaction with their family members back home here in India. So after a successful BRICS summit, where India played a decisive role in sending a message of expansion of the BRICS to 11 members, and with the inclusion of Ethiopia, UAE, there is this realization that the African countries and particularly the Middle Eastern countries who have been aspirational and who would have wanted to be part of this institution or this grouping would lead to several other groupings do a rethink. There have been demands that the G7 should be expanded. There have been demands that G20 should be expanded. So perhaps we'll be seeing more of this kind of a revisit with those members also looking at aspirations of Global South. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi on a very short visit, but one which will focus on maritime security and also people-to-people ties.